Save the date. The FRANS is approaching. The FRANS is the name of me. Well, I'm actually not called the FRANS. Why not, though? Can a person be, can a first, I mean, sort of the way that you're like Lord or Lady, Lord France or Lady France, whatever. Can I be the France? Maybe. I'll have to check this over with my legal team. But anyway, the date of my first release is approaching fast. The reason why this is instantly funny to me is because, hey, you can maybe go on my YouTube channel and search every video that I've uploaded titled "New Project Coming Up" or "Release Coming Soon," and there's maybe 45 of those videos over the past 20 years that I've put up. And I think maybe two of them or one of them has actually resulted in an actual release by an actual project. And these times there have more likely than not been someone else involved, like with Kitty Kitty Kitty. That was me, Rob, and Sam. So there was more pressure to actually put up stuff, because you're a group of people. But I mean, again, someone with ADHD, and a lot of you can relate to this, whether you have ADHD knowingly or unknowingly, is that people with ADHD have a very, very difficult time finishing projects, finishing anything really. It can be finishing a video game, finishing a movie, finishing a TV series, finishing songs, if we're going into musician territory, finishing songs, finishing groups of songs, it's there's something about the executive functions that, I don't know, I always try to trace back every trait that I have that I know is sort of nonsensical to me, is as in, why the F can't I just do this, and why am I like this? And I always try to trace it back to, well, what would the function of this be for me as a caveman in nature, and then I'm able to make a lot of sense about myself and not be too mad at myself for failing or some such. But what the fuck kind of, what is the biological or the evolutionary idea or point of not finishing like what the fuck was, okay, so hang on, what were cavemen doing? Well, not playing video games, not reading books probably a lot. So how do I relate not being able to finish things into caveman times? I don't know, no idea. I'll have to give this a proper think later probably. But anyway, but this time I decided to put some pressure on myself and give myself a release date of a project. I sat by the piano. I was like, fuck, I'm coming up with a name for the project now. I give myself 5 seconds. Whatever, the FRANS. Works well enough for me. And okay, so what genre do I go for? Just all of them. Because that's another stepping stone that when it comes to me finishing projects or starting projects or wrapping up projects, is by the time so I start a project, I have something in mind, and I start doing it, and I do maybe even complete 3 songs, and then I have a break for a couple of days, and I come back down, and I keep making music. I need to make a few more songs, and then whoops, I've been listening to something else, or I'm in a completely different mood than I was when I made the previous song. So now stylistically I'm doing something completely different, and I don't have really an interest to go back to the style I was doing 2 days prior. Now I'm all about the stuff that I'm doing just now. I was recording, maybe I recorded 3 like old school heavy metal songs, and then I had a 3-day break from the recording session. Then I come back down, and I've been listening to a lot of Santana. So now I just want to do Santana jams. And I'm like, oh fuck, well, I'll scrap these like lame dad rock songs and just focus on this now. And then I give myself another 2-day break, and I come back down, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? And I'm in this this never ending loop of just like, oh no, this will be the style. But you know what? Now I've been listening to a lot of Beastie Boys. I've been just blasting Check Your Head and Ill Communication in the car. And those albums, what are they if not stylistically diverse, right? And so, long monologue short, this, I give myself freedom now to put whatever happens on this first the FRANS release. So we're gonna have stuff like old heavy metal. We're gonna have like dumb heavy metal. We're gonna have like weird heavy metal, and then we're gonna have some stuff like which you just heard actually when I started this video, stuff like this, which I'm actually really pumped about. Actual bongos, percussion, one there, one there. This is great. And then actually another song that I was just recording, and hence the bass, is because I'm really psyched about the bass line that I came up for this one. I guess first off, actually, yeah, let's make this a quick little vlog into how I'm making these songs. So in this session, I've got seven songs, and most of them I started by grabbing a guitar. Choosing a tuning, it's either E flat or E standard, and randomly selecting a tempo, putting the metronome on and being like, okay, so I haven't done 130, I haven't done 170, stuff like this, because I don't want every song to be in the same tempo. And then I put on the metronome, and then I just start making up a riff on the guitar, like, whatever. And then I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then the riff starts evolving, and then it turns into like a puzzle of, okay, so after this, do I make a part that's similar to that one and then sort of transition into a completely like a bridge or something, or do I want to keep this going? And then eventually I make, riffs worth of 3-4 minutes. I tidy it up into a song, then record drums to it, and then bass last. And the funny thing is actually that I notice, even though I'm not a bass player, I can consider myself a drummer, because that's what I've seriously done for almost 30 years. I can consider myself a guitar player, because I've also done that quite seriously for 20 years. But bass, I've never, sat, like, I use a fraction of the time that I play drums and guitar to play the bass. Maybe 2% of the time that I use in a year to play these instruments, drum and bass. Drums and guitar, I play the bass, so I can't go and call myself a bass player. But this I notice every time that I sit down and record bass tracks for the songs that I do, is that the bass is where really all comes together for me. And I turn the bass into the star of the song, essentially, which I love. I've always loved, great bass lines and stuff. But these 2 tracks that I did or 3 actually, that I did in a different way, because I thought, okay, so now if I put the metronome on, I put the click on, and I grab a guitar, the songs are going to sound very riff oriented, right? And that's fine, but I don't want all of them to be like that. So I did the reverse. I put the click on, and then I improvised 3 drum tracks, just one take, just in different grooves, different styles, and I played one take of drums, and then I added percussion, 2 takes of separate bongos, different bongos, and then after that bass, and then guitar last. So the feel of those songs is completely different. So anyway, so for this one track now, I have just the drums and the percussion. As you can tell, it's very Beastie style. It's very like Mike D. He has a very, very nice, cool, laid back groove to his drumming, and I wanted to emulate that. Maybe make it a little more technical and tight. Still, this is essentially just, Anyway, so it's a long just drum take, right? And then the bass that I came up with last night before I went to bed is something like this. I muted the bass tracks here, and I'll play them live to you now, and I'll try to remember them. Just simple little ditty like that, and I like it because it goes from E minor to G major. But using this, I mean, can't you tell? You can't tell. Like I'm doing the on the G and the D string, this, and then I'm doing the same thing on the D and the A string. And if we look like this, look at it like this, it's the minor third, right? That, wham, that's the E, and this is the minor third. And then wham, that's the B, and that's the minor third. So it's a minor sound. But because I changed the root to G, that minor third becomes A, minor third to the B becomes a part of the so it turns into the perfect 5 to the G, and then we have, oh yeah, we have this note. The B from the G, which is the major third, and then it turns into a major thing. Great, anyway. It's a little inspired by, what's that one, Raging as a Machine bass line? Is it New Millennium Homes or something? That's cool. I wish I came up with that. So cool. Anyway, but and then it goes into the great part, which I love. You know, when you come up with a bass line where you're like, hell yeah, that's when you know at least you yourself are like, hell yeah. Okay. Here's some placeholder shit. And I think we're going back to this. No. Okay, hang on. This is like the break in the song, so I need to nail this. so forth. But I really like that because that is a variation of, it's like a, you know, a slapped up version, a amped up version of this. Because now we have. Fuck me. When you're making something really rhythmical, like a slap line, it's actually way harder to play it slow than to play it at tempo because everything changes, the physique changes. As you can see, it's sort of an evolved version or a continuation of the initial bass line riff. And then the G. With a couple of open notes tossed in there. A couple of open pops. Anyway, it's really cool. And then, okay, so that's for the bass stuff that I'm doing right now. But if I backtrack a little bit and show you some of the stuff that that I made prior to my recent Beasties craze again, here's some of the stuff that I had recorded before that. Dad rock. Bass. Now we're into a sort of verse theme. This is an E flat for some reason. And then this great part. Harmonies. Harmonies. There's 3 layers. Speaking of layers. Then there's a banger surprise at the end. Of course, the mix is sounding really, really rough and imbalanced right now. Great. Now I put the phone in front of my monitor so I can't see anything. But it's to be expected, you know. I'm also messing with the levels and everything constantly in these projects, so they're never at a state where where they're perfected, you know, up until my release date, hopefully. So, but that's a cool one, and this is a really cool one. I need to record bass for this, or I have half a bass track for this, but I need to re-record it. There's a placeholder Queens of the Stone Age guitar solo. And we're into the verse. Real troll under the bridge vibe. And then a really cool guitar lead. I love this melody. And a harmony to it. And then we have more of that, and then we're going to also a very cool section. I don't want to spoil it to you because I think part of the charm of these songs is going to be, for one, you don't know when the song starts. Okay, what the fuck what genre what band was Franz really listening to when 2 minutes before he made this track? You never know what's going to come at you. But also within the songs themselves, you know, what's going to happen. Well, a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. And then, of course, this time around, at least for these 3 tracks that I've got pulled up here, I'm going heavy on guitar harmonies. Why not? Or lead guitar harmonies. What is this now? Oh, it's that song we just listened to. And this one. Oh yeah, you've seen this briefly, I think. Oh yeah, I did that video where I recorded the solo, I think. Here we go. Here we go. This song needs bongos too. Maybe every song needs bongos. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. And in addition to these songs, okay, I have a few songs in this session which I just made within the last week or so. And then I have some older stuff from previous sessions. I think I'm gonna pull one track from those sessions. These go back like a year. But actually, a lot of the riffs in that song go back several years. So I'm gonna pull one good one from that session, and then hey, oh yeah, I made a band version of "Shut It Up," which is one of my solo songs that I performed my first ever solo show earlier this year at the piano for you guys. It was an acoustic rendition, acoustic and singing, but I made a full band version of it. I need to re-record some of it at least because a lot of it sounded pretty shitty. So there we have one more track, and then I'm thinking about adding like the more piano and acoustic oriented pieces, as is for this project as well. Because as I said, if this is to be my Check Your Head album, then there is no discrepancy crazy enough or too crazy to put in here, when it comes to track list or whatever. Who the fuck cares, right? It's not like I'm gonna submit this to like Sony Records and be like, hey, please put this out. Fuck you. You can put anything in this. But I'm thinking like from a listener's perspective. But then again, from a listener's perspective, most people in the world will never even hear this or care. But yeah, hey, I'll also make the FRANS a Spotify release. Because why not? Because you could probably easily do that nowadays. It's not like you're getting any money from it anyway, so I'll just fucking toss everything up there as well as, the FRANS. Welcome, here comes the FRANS. Here comes the FRANS for FRANS, or Welcome to FRANS. And all these are good titles for the FRANS' first release. But yeah, so stay tuned to that. Shit, I should probably give you guys the deadline as well. Okay, so what is it? It's June 18th now. Okay, so let's see. July 18th, the FRANS will be out. July 18th. Save the date. Save the date, FRANS. No pressure, actually, lots of pressure. Great. Anyway, see ya.